I was like, I'm on the run. I'm going to break down. The cops are going to call, I'm just thinking like wheels turn, and I'm like, this is like not, I know I'm going to have to face the choir eventually. I was like, it's not, or I'm like, I'm going to be murdered by someone who pulls over to help me.
This is Stormy Delahante. On July 6, 2020, Stormy's younger brother Daniel called 911. He reported that he discovered the body of Stormy's husband, Roman Roshupkin, in the bedroom of their Ohio home. Roman had been stabbed multiple times in the chest, back and neck. When homicide investigators arrived at the scene, Daniel shared that he hadn't seen Stormy for 2 days and that Roman's vehicle was missing. Detectives tracked Stormy's credit card activity, discovering she was in Las Vegas. With the help of local law enforcement, investigators arrest her and fly her back to Ohio for questioning.
Going through the airport, you had to have your hands in here.
Yeah.
Down the whole time.
Because nobody can know you.
Right. And I was like, oh crap. And my hands were like swamped. They were dreadful.
See, the other thing about him, he's been around 25 years, right?
Yeah.
So he doesn't know what one of these are anymore. He doesn't use those anymore.
Is it a stick?
No, he doesn't. No, it's a
I've been a detective for so long. Like, you don't do the stuff the road guys pretty much.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Oh, he put this up on this one.
Yeah, I don't know. I had to use the bathroom on the airplane. It was a nightmare. Got some weird looks in the airport when the dude had to come into the bathroom and lock me up, and then we walked out together like, oh god, these people are looking at us like
what's going on here?
Yeah,
That's
what
funny.
are you guys doing in there? And I was like, not what you think, not what you think at all.
Delta's not too bad.
Oh, that's the first time I'd ever been on an airplane.
You gotta be kidding.
No.
Wow.
And I was like,
that was an adventure, then, huh?
not at all excited. I'm like about to have a panic attack.
Freak you out? God.
Yeah.
Freaks me out. I've been on a lot of them.
Do you want anything else other than that?
Oh no, it's fine.
Oh my God, you saw one. Wow. Yeah. They just made it, dude. Like by minutes.
What, in Minneapolis?
Yes, they would have had to book her into the jail in Minneapolis.
Oh my God.
They just made it.
Yeah, no one was looking forward to that.
Did you guys literally have to run through the airport?
We were speed walking. And then the older gent did run. And then he flagged us down a little tram car thing. I don't know his name.
Brian.
Yeah.
Oh God. That's hilarious.
But yeah.
So did Stapleton have you laughing the entire time, pretty much?
The other guy?
The other guy, he was very tired.
Really?
He was very tired.
He wasn't so tired to make jokes about us.
Pissed off at the fact that, like, so we got to the airport at like 9 o'clock, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing was for like 11:45, but as soon as we bought the ticket, or we checked in or whatever at the front counter, that's when the lady decided to tell us that it was going to be delayed until 2. So that guy was extraordinarily upset from the time we left the ticket because he was like, this is how it always goes. There's always something wrong. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to get home until this time. I got to wake up at this time. He's like, they're going to love me at work tomorrow. And I said, well, Brian's like, well, I don't work tomorrow. And I'm like, well, the other guy. I'm looking at the other guy, and I was like, you work tomorrow? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, why? What did you do this to yourself? I said, did you get like voluntold to come get me?
Please tell me you told him that he does it to himself.
No,
oh God, that would have been
I don't
great.
think I said that.
I need to get you a cup for your cigarette.
I was like, what did you do? I said, did you like get like told to come out here? Like you did it, was it optional? He said, oh yeah, I signed up for it. And I'm looking at him like, so if you signed up for it, then why didn't you take it?
On you, buddy.
He said, why didn't think about it? Like,
Think about it, yeah.
Investigators asked Stormy to walk them through the route she took to Vegas, including where she stopped and what she remembers about the trip.
So when you go through Utah, there's only gas stations like every 100 miles. So they got like when you see like an exit, it'll say like new service. And so like there's like no service every 100 miles. So you have to like make sure you have gas in the car.
Wow.
God forbid you break down out there.
That's
Then.
Did you think about that though, like when you were driving through Utah?
So what I was telling the dudes, when I was driving through Denver, I had the cruise control set and I was driving up this hill and like the car, like the engine revved to like 6.5 before I could like hit the brake to, you know, have the cruise control stop. And then after that, the check engine light came on. And I was like, oh my God, like, I was like, I'm on the run. I'm going to break down. The cops are going to call, you know, I'm just thinking like wheels turn and I'm like, this is like not, I mean, I know I'm going to have to face the choir eventually. I was like, it's not, you know, or I'm like, I'm going to be murdered by someone who pulls over to help me. I was like, no. So when I made it to Vegas, I was scared to leave, kind of. You know what I mean, in that car. Because I was like,
so afraid to break down.
Right, because from Vegas, I was just going to keep going west. And so it's like 300 miles from Vegas to like LA. I mean, there's obviously you get to California before you got there, but I was like
4 hours.
you know what I mean? I was like, it's the desert, you know? I was like, what the hell am I going to do? So
Yeah.
I was kind of nervous to leave, and I was nervous to stay, and you know what I mean? Like, my mind, I was just like, I just need to drive, not think.
Right.
So.
I got family when they're in Denver. It's like a desert there too. Like when you're not in the mountains.
Yeah.
It's like a desert too.
Yeah, I drove like through the mountains. Because when you go 70 west, that's all it is. It's like you drive like, you go into Denver, and then you just drive through the mountains the entire way until you get into like Utah. And then you're just in mountains of the brown variety instead of like a mountain, you know, like a gray mountain. It's just like a red mountain.
Yeah.
So it's just huge. There's nothing there.
Why LA?
Why LA?
Mm-hmm.
Well, so when I started this venture, no, seriously, like I was like in shell shock, you know what I mean? So when I left my house, like I didn't know what to do. So I went to Covington. That's where I went. When I left, I went to Covington and I checked in at the Radisson, and I went there and I was just drinking, and then I woke up the next morning and I was like, still have no clue what to do. I mean, honestly, like I want to one hand pick up the phone, but on the other hand, I don't want to pick up the phone. You know what I mean? So I just left and I just kept going left. Like I told you, like I went up to Indianapolis and then I just seen west. And Roman had told me he is going out to Vegas, and he was like all thrilled with the place. You know what I mean? He was like just like he went there and then went like to the Grand Canyon and then went out to LA. You know what I mean? And me and him had talked about it a lot. And he's like really like, you should see this place. You know what I mean? It's like it's amazing. He's like, it's so different. You know what I mean? He's from Russia, so.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there, it's like just snow and kind of like here. You know what I mean? Like he lived like kind of very similar to like Cincinnati setup, like a river. You know what I mean? In a small little area. And he was
Where at in Russia?
It's called Voronezh.
Where's that at?
So it's like say Moscow here, it's like over here.
Okay.
You know, it's like a really far way away, but like his little village was like on a river. It looked kind of like Cincinnati. You know what I mean? It's like a river and then like the settlements on each side.
Crazy.
And like, you know, like snow and stuff, but he's like, you have to see this place. So when I left, I just was like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I just kept driving and driving and driving. And I just seen west, and I was like, well, I'm going to just keep driving west and driving west and driving west. And then after I made it like to to like Kansas.
It's like a desert too.
Oh, that place was terrible. And the farm, it smelled so bad.
Yeah, I flooded up there. It's like a desert.
Yeah, not good. So
Yeah.
I made it to Kansas, and I asked this guy
Some random.
at the gas station. Yeah, I was getting gas, and I asked this guy because like I said, I was just driving and not like think. You know what I mean? Like as long as I was in the car, like driving, like I was focused on driving. I wasn't focused on anything else. So in Kansas, wherever in the world I stopped at, I was in the gas station, and I asked this guy. I was like, because me and Roman were talking about the Teton Mountains in Wyoming. Some dude had just told me about them at work, and I told him about like the bike trails down here and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, he's like, if you like that, he's like, you would love this like Teton Mountain place, right? He's like, because there's like mountains, and then there's like a bunch of grass, and he's like, there's bears, and there's these trails, and this and that. And so when I got to Kansas, I asked this guy, I was like, you know, like, how would I get to Wyoming from here? And he's like, well, if I was you, I would go to Denver, and then from Denver, shoot up. He said there's a very nice highway, and I was like, okay.
No, it is.
So I kept going, and then when I got to Denver, I kind of was at that, I had to make a decision. Am I going like towards Vegas, or am I going to right?
West and straight north.
You know, I was like, well, me and Remen had looked at some pictures of the Tetons on the phone after the dude told us about it, and then when I got into Denver, like all I kept hearing in my mind was like Roman like going on about the Vegas and the desert and this and that. So I was like, well, I'll go there. That's what I decided. I was like, I'll go to the desert and see what is so thrilling about the desert, I guess. So I just kept driving and driving, and when I found a GPS in the back of the car, so I plugged that up, and I was like, I think by that point I was still like 20 hours away from Vegas.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So Denver.
In
Yeah.
Denver?
Wow.
Like, yeah,
Didn't
that's
think
how far.
I didn't think it'd be that far.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Maybe by the time I got to Denver, it's a little less, but I know by the time I found this GPS thing and punched it in and decided, like, it was still, yeah, well, actually, it was that far because I ended up having to stop in Utah. And then I stayed in Utah that night, and then I finished the drive to Vegas. And then when I got to Vegas, I was paranoid about using my debit card, you know what I mean? So I was like, I don't want to swipe my card to get a hotel. So I didn't get a hotel that night. And then I had asked a couple of the hotels, like, is there somewhere I could just use cash? And they told me about that place they found me at, that you could use just cash there, you know what I mean? So I was like, well, I'm still going to have to show my ID, so it really doesn't matter, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
You could have made the Wyoming a lot quicker.
Yeah. Yeah, but to me, I mean, I didn't have any destination in mind when I left. It wasn't like I was like, it wasn't a planned venture, you know what I mean? It's not like I was like, I had this planned out. I just got in the car and drove and drove and drove some more. Until I stopped at night.
I didn't know you had somebody you knew out in LA or no?
No. Nothing. I don't know anybody. I told that lady at CPS, you know what I mean? I was like, I don't have friends.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, seriously, I don't have friends. I don't mess with anybody in my family except for my two little brothers, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And she looked at me like I was crazy, and I was like, it's worked. it's literally worked for the last, 12 years. There's nothing flowing in my logic, lady, you know?
You thought of that?
No. But I was just like, you could see on paper that, not having friends doesn't mean you can't be successful.
Oh,
You
sure.
know what I mean? Like,
No.
my friends wasn't going to go to college for me. My friends wasn't going to get a good job. My friends weren't going to raise my kids.
I told somebody that too. I don't need any more friends. I got too many now.
You know? My thing is, like, you can't put stop. My thing is, like, don't put stop in people, you know what I mean? Like, I've seen people do plenty of the opposite of what you think, you know what I mean? Like, you guys know my background. My thing is, well, what do you need friends for if the people that are your blood can't even, you know, do what you would think? So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't like relying on people. I'm very, like, independent, you know what I mean?
Oh, that's very evident.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's very evident.
For sure.
That's the way I chose to be, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, no. I just drove and more. I'm gonna keep driving, I guess. Had they not picked me up, I was just gonna leave Vegas and just keep driving more west. And then I guess when I got as west as I could get, I was like, you know, had to pick. I eventually would have had to pick, you know, up or down.
Yeah, you go north, south, you go to the ocean.
Right, exactly. So I figured at that rate, I was like, if I make it this far, then I'll just go to California, and then I was like, go north. That was, you know, I figured I'd just go like up through California, maybe like see the redwoods or something.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. I was hoping.
Oh, where'd you want me to go?
Hawaii.
How the fuck I made it to Hawaii?
You got a plane ticket.
Oh, I thought I wasn't gonna get on a plane.
I was like, when him and I were talking about it, I'm like, oh, she goes to Hawaii. I've always wanted to go to Hawaii. I've always wanted to see Pearl Harbor.
Gotcha.
I wanted to see the memorial and stuff like that. So I'm like, this is it. I'm gonna get my chance.
Oh no. Not with this one. I was not gonna get on a plane. No.
It's just smart.
Oh yeah,
No, not too smart. I was no. Like I told you, I'd never been on a plane. I wasn't fit to get on mine. I had bad luck. Like there was no way I was getting on an airplane. I told you I was scared the thing was gonna crash.
But you were thinking I could do that.
Mm-hmm.
No, I did not want to know.
Among Stormy's belongings, detectives find a handwritten note claiming she killed Roman by accident. Now they want to know how it happened and why.
I mean, I don't know how this works, but
Well, you have to ask us.
the story has to come, right? I mean, someone's gonna want to know.
You have to want to talk to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You understand that?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess I kind of, yeah.
I mean,
I guess that's the question. Like, I should probably like talk to the attorney and then contact you guys or something.
Stormy,
right?
that's your decision.
Right.
Okay.
Or I could just talk to you guys.
Your decision is whatever your decision.
Yeah.
Me and him, we decided, we knew you were coming back tonight. We decided, you know, we saw you in Vegas. We knew you just did not look, don't take this wrongly, you didn't look normal in Vegas.
Right.
So I told him, I'm like, we can just go bullshit with her. I mean,
Right.
you told us out there that you wanted an attorney.
Yeah.
And that's why we stopped the interview and left, right?
But to answer your question though, you said, if you do want to talk to us about it, if you want to, you can talk to us about it.
Yep. But it has to come from you though.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And listen, whatever you decide, we can sit here for another 3 hours. I don't care.
But we're not. I'm not. That's your choice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're not trying to
Right.
force you to.
Right.
If you want to do that, do that.
Yep.
Okay.
However you want to do it. We're here for you regardless of
Right.
however
Right.
this plays
Right.
out.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure how like that's what I'm a very like step oriented black and white kind of person.
Sure.
So from here, yeah, I mean, obviously I would just assume that the proceedings would be that like, I mean, you know, it probably wouldn't be wise of me to say like, let you guys try to figure out, you know, like it would probably be wise, you know, to, you know, interject something in there. But yeah, I just, like I said, I just want to speak with the attorney, you know what I mean? Like, they can be present when I speak with you guys, right? Like, that's the thing, right? They're allowed to be present.
So you're saying you want to talk to the attorney before you talk to us?
Correct. Like, that's like where I'm thinking, you know what I mean? Because I'm not quite sure, like, what me and your counterparts were talking about when they picked me up is like, once you start, you know, you can't stop. You know what I mean? Like, I can't backtrack. I can't erase something I said. You know what I mean? Like, as we start talking, you know what I mean?
If you do start talking to us, you can stop talking anytime.
Well, I know I can stop talking, but I'm saying, like, I don't, like, want to start talking and then, like, get flustered and then, you know what I mean? Like, dig myself into some hole and then, like, I go talk to the attorney and then the attorney be like, why did you do this? Or why did you know what I mean? Like, for me, I think I would prefer to speak to the attorney and then the attorney would probably advise me to speak with you guys and then do it that way as opposed to speaking first and then me, you know, messing up somewhere along the line.
And the only reason why I'm saying this is him, you know, he's handled a lot of cases through his years, and I've handled, you know, quite a bit of cases since I've been doing this.
Right.
And if at any point in time you were to have a change of heart or change of mind, all you got to do is let those COs know that you need to talk to Jerry or Brandon.
Right.
And I don't care what time of day it is or whatever, we'll come right back. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I know, and you know, that's your choice. We respect that, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, we're not. You can tell we're laid back.
Yeah.
We're not mad at you.
Yeah.
No.
It's just circumstantial, right? We are here because of, obviously.
No, absolutely. And it's seriously like a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm glad that I'm actually glad that I get to sit down and just talk to you.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah. Someone felt that.
You know, I'm a fire. Yeah.
Since Stormy refuses to talk about the murder without her attorney present, she is taken to jail. A few days later, she asked to speak with detectives again.
So, what's up?
Yeah, so, well, list of things, right?
Go ahead.
So, the
What was it?
I don't know, it's
I got you.
so, with him being a Russian citizen, right, has the embassy been contacted so that, like, his parents can be notified
So we contacted his parents.
directly? Okay.
Yeah, that was through a Skype thing. So we were able to facilitate that with some help.
Okay.
But yeah, we told them. So, and you know, I'm sure you can imagine how that went. But yeah, 2 of our guys were able to make contact with his parents. Yep. I know it's got to be weighing on you.
So, how does it work, like, from here? Like,
What do you mean?
what's going to happen with him?
Well, I'm the type of person that I'm gonna bull. Okay, so I'm not gonna sugarcoat things for you. Okay. They took up a collection.
Yeah.
His friends did to actually ship his body all the way back over to Russia. Yeah. Which, to my knowledge, they were able to facilitate. So that was good. That was good.
They've already done it.
I have not confirmed that, but to my knowledge, they were able to raise enough funds to facilitate that. Yeah. Stormy, I know you're stressed out.
Stressed out.
I know. And listen, you know, that night we sat in here and bullshit and stuff like that. You know how some people say, like, you put on a face? I could tell you were putting on a face. And, you know, it goes back to what you said. Like, when you were driving across the country, like, you kept driving because you wanted to keep your mind stimulated, you know? But that stuff is just weighing on you and weighing on you and weighing on you. You're drinking Pepto-Bismol, you know, constantly. And, you know, I appreciate you reaching out to us because, I'll be completely honest with you. I would love to hear your side of the story. I really would. I'll sit here and talk to you for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. I don't care. We can talk about the weather. We can talk about everything in between. It doesn't matter to me. Do you have some other questions you want to ask?
The weirdest part is like, it doesn't feel real.
Yeah.
Like none of it feels real. It doesn't.
It feels like a dream.
I don't even, I can't even tell you what it feels like because it doesn't. I don't know. I'm so sad. And angry, like, at myself, right? Like, on one hand, I'm sad because of the situation, you know what I mean? Like, and then on the other hand, it's like, can't even be angry at anybody except for myself because I'm the one who did it, you know what I mean? Like, it would be easier, you know, in most circumstances, you have someone else to blame, right? You have something you can at least just say, like, oh, it's not my fault, right? Like, just, you have someone to lash out at or someone to do, or, you know, you have someone, like, in this case, there's no one, it's just me, literally, just me. And I was thinking about that last night, like, how tough is that? Like, excuse my French, but literally, like,
No, you can cuss all you want.
I don't understand. It doesn't seem real. It's not good. And then, like, the last thing I have to ask you is who reported that? Was it Daniel? Because I don't even know how to address that one. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I've drugged him into something that
So do you want to kind of share?
He shouldn't even been a part of, and
He shouldn't have been a part of? Is that what you mean, Daniel?
right, like he should,
Yeah.
he should never have even had to, like, been put in that situation to begin with. You know what I mean? Like,
So do you want to share some stuff with each other? Because I'll tell you everything that I'll tell you.
yeah.
Daniel was the one that found Roman. So, you want me to tell you how all that played out? Give you the story you want to
Unfortunately, because
Well, yeah, because here's the
I
thing.
have to, you know, like, I talked to him on the phone and told him I love him, and
I want you to
couldn't
understand.
even talk to him.
I want you to understand something. Both of those boys, the night we talked to them, the night we got the call, they sat across from us, and both of them said that they loved their sister.
Yeah.
Daniel was really concerned about you because he didn't know essentially what your mental state was, because he was concerned about some things in the past that had happened. And then Tyler, he kind of piggybacked off of that a little bit, and we're sitting there, and then I'm starting to get worried about you. And then throughout this whole thing, it's like I said, I mean, hell, I feel like I was a distant relative of your guys' family at this point. I mean, like for Tyler to call me at 11 o'clock, I'll be completely honest with you. Like, I've had people get my number before that I hand out for certain reasons, and I'll ignore those calls. But when he calls, I feel obligated to answer.
Right.
And that's because I know he's got Daniel, and I want to make sure that these two boys are taken care of just as much as you do. That's why I signed up to do this job, is because I care about people. I truly do.
Right.
You know what I mean? I truly do care about people. Despite what's going on in the world, we don't need to talk about that, but I do.
Right.
And, obviously, I mean, we sat there and talked to him. Well, no one. Are you hungry? No. let me know, because I'll go back and get you a snack or anything that you need. So Daniel was home all day
Yeah.
on the 6th. Okay. That would have been Monday. And he said that he was mainly in his room the majority of the day and, hanging out and doing whatever. And he wanted some porters to go wash his clothes. So he was rummaging through his room and couldn't find enough. So he went to your room and the door was locked. And he's on FaceTime with Christina. Is that her name? Right? I think it is too. For whatever reason, it just slipped my mind. But anyways, he's on the phone with his girlfriend. He decided, he knocks, nobody answers. He goes back, waits like 15 or 20 minutes. He's like, well, what the hell, So he goes back again, knocks, and he finally decides that he's going to get in your room. And he goes and grabs the butter knife and jennies it through the latch there. And he walks in and he sees Roman laying there. But he doesn't know that at first, right? And he's still on FaceTime with his girlfriend. So he's rummaging through the room, and some things were said between the conversation of him and her. And he showed her the pile of, the blankets, and she goes, Daniel, that looks like what you think it is. And he goes over and unwraps it, and that's what he sees. So he eventually called 911. Just to kind of give you some comedic relief, he actually called Slim Chickens first and says, I'm not coming to work anymore. And then he calls 911. So I don't know what, maybe it was the shock,
Right.
and it didn't register to him like it was to do right away,
Right.
other than I'm not going back to work anymore.
Right.
So that's what happened. And then he called Tyler, and then Tyler told us that he called you on the way up. And he told us about the conversation that was taking place, and you indicated to him, which we knew you were already gone, and you said you were there and you knew the police were there, and he said that before you got off the phone, you said you were sorry, at least twice maybe, and then hung up the phone, and that was when your phone got shut off.
Yeah.
So everybody has a story. I have a story. You have a story. When Jerry was in here, I don't know much about his story, but he's got about 2 brain cells left, and they fight each other to death. I like to joke with Jerry, we're buddies, but I know everything up to when Daniel called. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know how you're doing it. You're like a lockbox, Stormy. And you've been that way your entire life. I think you find other ways to express your feelings, and sometimes those can be the wrong ways to do it. So, throughout this time, you've kind of been covering things up and just masking it rather than really just letting it out. And you know why I know that? Is because I had the same issue before I became a police officer, cop, or whatever you want to call me. I did the same thing you did, and it was not healthy. I grew up in a household that was domestic violence and stuff like that. So, just because I do this job doesn't mean my life is perfect by any means. So I can relate to you, and I'm not wanting to compare apples to oranges with you by any means, but I can relate, my life's not perfect by any means.
Yeah.
No, there's no such thing as perfect. And people make mistakes every day. And I think that's what you kind of described it. You blame yourself. You're angry at yourself because of the decision that you made. And I'm willing to sit here and talk to you about that. I really am. And I promise I will listen to you. That's about one of the few promises I can ever give anybody is I will listen to you. And it's okay because I won't judge you as a person. As a matter of fact, when we walked you back over to the jail that night you got back, him and I were walking across the parking lot after we left you. And I remember looking at Jerry and I go, I said, I meant when I said I'd rather deal with 28,000 of her my rest of my career. And I said, you know what the thing is? I actually think she's kind of cool. Like, I like her. Like, she's cool people. And he goes, I was just thinking the same thing. And that's what I mean. Like, you see who you are as a person, not what has happened. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You know, the worst part is like all those people, and they're just like, they think it's the coolest thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's sickening. It really is. And they just want to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and like have no regard. You know what I mean? They think it's a joke.
I can tell that you care, otherwise you wouldn't be crying and you wouldn't have that band wrapped around your left finger still. You're used to having something on there.
And it hurts. And it hurts and it hurts and it hurts. But I don't mind to tell you what happened. I don't even know where to begin.
Wherever you want
Because
to.
it's like, the easiest way I can like even begin to like describe it is like, you know, one of those little flip books? Like, imagine just taking out sections and then playing it. Because most of it I don't remember. Honestly, I don't.
May I ask why?
Because I was extraordinarily intoxicated. Like, really, really, really intoxicated.
Well, I mean, if you want to start wherever you want to start, that's fine. It's up to you. Wherever you feels best. You want another one?
Yeah. I have to take some deep breaths here to get through this one, because this is not.
I understand. I get it.
So, 4th of July,
Mm-hmm.
and he picked me up from work.
And that's at Slow Chickens? Okay.
Picked me up from work, and we're driving home, and we're at like CDS, and I asked him to go to the liquor store, because I'm on probation, right? I'm not supposed to be drinking, but it was very evident I have a drinking problem. So I asked him to go to the liquor store. So we go to O'Brien's. And I go in there and I buy, I don't even know what the name of the beer is, but some beer I found like the day or two before. And I buy Hennessy because that's what he likes to drink. So we go home and we start drinking. And somewhere in there he left and went and bought more beer. And it's just like any other day, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That was pretty much normal with you guys, right? You guys like to drink and
A lot.
yeah.
When we first started dating, we would drink like a fifth a day
Really?
between the two of us. Yeah,
What'd you guys like?
anything.
Anything? Just anything, liquor?
Liquor, beer, it doesn't matter.
Gotcha.
But I don't know. What time I got off work? I think 4 or 5.
And this is on the 4th?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember which one it was, but the beer I bought comes in a 4-pack. It's like 8%,
Okay.
and I think I probably went through those in like maybe an hour and a half. And I don't know how much he had drank. I really didn't pay attention, but regardless, I drank all that beer and then was on to Hennessy. Like I said, he left and bought more beer and came back. And then, like, there's a lot of it that's like black. It's not there at all. I remember we were talking about going to see fireworks in Loveland. And I guess he was too drunk to drive at that point, so he said something about how we were going to get there, something. And I said, like, yeah, who cares? Like, what is Uber? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter, we can Uber there and Uber back. And from there, I don't know what happened, like, or how much time we lapsed. I knew we were in the bedroom at one point. We may have had sex, may have not had sex. I don't know. But I remember some part of coming out of the bedroom. I was just in this long sleeve shirt and a pair of underwear, and I went to the kitchen and was just sitting there, probably drinking some more. And then I remember being back in the bedroom and we were listening to music.
And this is all the night of the 4th into the 5th, kind of?
This is just all the fourth. Like, I mean, this was early, you know what I mean?
Yeah, early on, all the way into the... Okay.
It's early.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't, like I said, I drank, like, so much so quickly that, like, a lot of the, like, I don't remember a lot. And then I remember being in the bedroom, like I said, listening to music, and then I don't know what happened or something. I remember he threw me off the bed onto the floor and, like, had my wrist back. And then from there, like, the next thing I remember is just him on the ground in a puddle of blood.
Where at?
By the front door. And
So,
it was like, it wasn't me. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't, like, consciously in control. Like, I don't know how to describe it, honestly. Like, it was like
you were so
someone else
intoxicated. Yeah.
was, like, controlling me. You know what I mean? Like, it's, yeah. I don't remember stabbing him at all. When I, like, came back into it, you know what I mean? He was laying there, and there was so much blood. It was crazy. And then just, like I said, like something, it was like being like a marionette, you know what I mean? I remember starting to clean up the blood.
And this is all like in the living room area?
Like as soon as you walk in the door, just like right there.
Right there?
Yeah. I just remember like wiping it all up. I like
What were you using?
got the garbage can or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I remember going and getting a towel.
Towel.
Yeah. And it was just like wiping and wiping and wiping. And then I guess I kept cleaning, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like there's so much that's like not even there. And that for me, like I feel grateful, you know what I mean, on one hand that I don't remember it. And then on the other hand, it's difficult because I don't understand what happened. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand how it got to that. Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like I'm a violent person. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even, like, I can't even fathom what would have played out to where that would have been what happened. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand how it happened or why it happened or what the context was behind it happening at all. I just remember like coming back and just there was so much blood.
Coming back, what do you mean, like
I
reality check?
said, like, I mean, I wasn't there, you know what I mean? Like, I, like, consciously was not there when any of it happened. So, when, like, what I can remember, like I said, it's him laying there in blood, and he was so pale. Like,
Yeah.
I could tell, like, he was dead, you know what I mean? And it was like when I was cleaning that up, it was like I was on like an autopilot. Like, it was, like I said, it wasn't me, you know what I mean? It's like it was this like drunk marionette thing that was doing it, you know what I mean? And yeah, I don't know. From there, fucking I remember pulling him down to the bedroom.
How did you, and I will ask you some tough questions, okay? But, so how did you get him, I mean, obviously I saw some of the stuff at the scene, but how did you get him into the blanket? You don't know?
I remember dragging him down the hallway. Like,
In
on
the
a blanket?
On the blanket?
On a blanket, yeah.
How'd you drag him?
I think I just wrapped the blanket around him and pulled him.
And you had to lift him to get him on top of that blanket though, didn't you? No?
No, I don't think so. I think I just
Because he was,
put the blanket and just tried to roll him.
okay. Yeah, because it was wrapped, like he was almost on top of it. Does that sound about right? So you may have actually physically rolled him onto the blanket, is what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, because I remember pulling him a little bit out from the, like, when you first walk in the apartment. Because that's where he was laying at. Like, you wouldn't have been able to, like, open the door. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he was, like, right there.
So was he trying to leave?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
You don't know?
Like, honestly, I promise I don't remember any of that.
Okay.
Because that's what I'm saying. I don't understand what transpired. I remember, like I said, he threw me off the bed and had me, like, pinned, with my arms back and forth. And then after that, the next thing I remember is he is just lying there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I know I have a problem with, like, blacking out. You know what I mean? Like,
You said you have had a problem doing it?
like blacking out drinking? Yeah.
Because the amount that you drink?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nothing new.
So that was pretty much kind of like the point that you would drink sometimes, is blacked out, and then would you wake up the next day and kind of like, what the hell happened? Is that what you did?
There's a lot of those nights.
A lot of those nights?
Yeah.
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 Just like the same thing happened when, like, the second DUI, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember wrecking my car. I don't really remember, like, running from the police and all that, you know what I mean? It's I don't know if it's how much I drank or what I drank, you know what I mean?
Sure. I mean, it could be a culmination of things. It could be what you drink, how fast you drink it. All those things can be taken into effect, especially if you're drinking a higher content of alcohol drinks. You're not just having, 3, 4, 5 Bud Lights. And if you're drinking harder stuff and you're pounding it like it's water, yeah, it's going to catch up with you real quick.
Yeah. And then, I remember, dragging me down the hallway into the bedroom. And then, I don't know what I did after that. I guess I fell asleep somewhere in there, you know what I mean? And then the next day, like, I didn't leave my room at all.
So, I know Daniel came home at like 4 a.m. on the 4th. So this is, all that's already happened. Right?
Yeah.
So,
I remember answering the door.
okay.
Like he's standing there with a bag or something.
And so at that point in time, you've already got everything cleaned up, and Because Daniel
Yeah, when I
obviously,
answered the door for Daniel.
yeah,
Yeah. I
because
did
obviously if Daniel would have saw it, I mean, or saw something, he would have probably said something to you.
know. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, he said something or something, I don't know. I just opened the door, I let him in, I shut the door, and I went to my room.
So, I know you said you don't remember quite a bit, but you know how you have the blinds on the sliding glass door?
Yeah.
Do you have any idea how blood got on those?
No.
No.
No, because when I came out of my room, I stayed in there the whole next day, so I guess it would have had to been the 6th.
Well, the 5th. So it would have been the 5th. So Daniel comes home at 4 a.m. on the 5th.
Yeah, I didn't leave my room.
Okay. And then he went to work at like noon and told him that Roman couldn't take him to work because he was sick. Is that correct? Do you remember that? Okay. Well, Daniel, that's what Daniel said.
Yeah.
And he was going to have to walk. So he went to work at like noon, I think, because he had to be there at 12:30. And then you were scheduled that day. Do you remember that?
To go to work.
Mm-hmm.
The next day, yeah, I was scheduled to work.
Okay. And then you just no called that good, right?
I didn't go to work. I didn't leave my room.
Right.
Like the entire day.
So at what point in time during the day did you actually finally come out?
I didn't. The whole next day, I didn't. I stayed in my room. The
Well,
entire day.
No, you had to have came out.
I
You
don't
did,
remember
because
coming
there
out.
was, you made some purchases on the 5th. Were you still intoxicated?
That day?
Mm-hmm. On the 5th?
I don't remember coming out at all. I thought I stayed in my room that whole day because I kept drinking.
No.
That wasn't the next day.
Mm-hmm. Not the 6th. It was the 5th. Mm-hmm. Do you remember where you went?
Yeah, I remember going several places, but I didn't think it was the next day. I thought it was like 2 days.
No, it was the following day. It was the 5th.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't. Well, no, I remember going to the store and buying stuff, but I don't. Like I said, I didn't think it was that day. I thought it was the following day because I thought I stayed in my room all day because I kept drinking the rest of the liquor.
On the 5th, when you stayed in the room?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were out and about on the 5th.
No, I thought it was the next day.
Mm-hmm. No, it was the 5th.
Yeah. And then, yeah, I did. I went, like, I didn't know what to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I felt, like, I don't know if I was, like, in shock or, like, what it was, but I guess when I realized, like, he wasn't waking up ever,
Yeah.
like, I didn't want to be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So do you remember where you went when you went shopping?
Yeah. I went to a hardware store.
Do you remember which one that was?
I don't know what it's called. And then I went to Kroger. And I went to Home Depot. And the liquor store.
In the liquor store.
And the liquor store.
Do you remember everything that you bought?
A bunch of cleaning supplies.
What'd you get from Home Depot?
Some shear cutters and a saw. Yeah.
Is that because you were freaked out, kind of panicked and shocked?
Yeah. I walked around Home Depot for quite a while. And I didn't know what to do.
So what was going through your mind when you're buying when the saw and the shears and stuff? I mean, obviously you've got thoughts running through your head 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, at first I was thinking like, maybe try to hide it, but then when I bought the like obviously I was like, I can't like commit to doing anything like that, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, talking about hiding him.
Right, or something, you know what I mean? Like hiding the shit, like I don't know what. I mean, obviously I wasn't gonna be able to do anything. That's why I left, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I think I was just like on like autopilot mode, like I don't know. I don't know how to.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, you're trying to put puzzle pieces together that you can't remember, and then you're running around like crazy because you don't know exactly what to do. And everything's rolling through your mind. And listen, I'm not and I want you to understand something. Like, again, this goes back to me not judging you or anything like that. So when I say things and they're very blunt or whatever, I don't want you to think like I think you're some serial killer by any means. You know what I'm saying?
No,
so I mean, you're panicking and stuff. I mean, I'm not a stupid individual. I mean, when I knew what you bought from Home Depot, I could pretty much figure that out. And I mean, I'm like, it was a thought, but she couldn't carry it out, obviously. To basically, and I know this is hard to talk about, but to cut him up and basically get rid of him.
Right.
And I mean, I knew that was going through your head. I mean, would you agree? I mean, that's how you get rid of them,
Right, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
I got you. So, you go run around and do all that stuff, and then, obviously, you come back to the apartment, and then, like, what goes on from there?
I drank more.
You drink more?
Drink, yeah.
In your room?
Yeah.
So you're there all day on the 5th?
I thought I would.
Well, I mean, aside from you going out and going to the stores while Daniel's at work, and then you come back and, continue drinking some more. So do you remember Daniel coming home, or were you passed out then? Because Daniel came home like 20 to 11. Do you remember him coming home at all? No. Do you remember passing out? No.
That's what I'm saying, like I didn't think I left the next day. Because I remember like waking up and it's like I couldn't stay awake, you know what I mean? And then I fell back asleep, and I think I did that like a lot. Like I'd wake up for a second and then I just fall right back asleep. And then I thought it was the next day that I was out. Because I thought I left the same day I went and bought all that shit. Because I just bought it all. Like, none of it, like, as you see from, like, the car, none of it made it in the house. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I figured that much.
I went home and started drinking again. And then, that's what I'm saying, like, I thought I stayed there the whole next day because I didn't go to work and I was drinking. And then I thought it was the next day that I went out and bought the stuff. And then I remembered, like I said, going to the liquor store, buying more liquor and drinking. And then somewhere in there I was like, I can't, like, I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? Like, I'm on felony probation, like, not like I was trying to hide from what I did, but, like, I didn't know how to, like, pick up the phone and call the cops, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Did that cross your mind?
a scary proposition. It did, but I couldn't bring myself to do it, you know what I mean?
So when you were thinking about that, did you theorize or think about what you would have even said if you were called? No? You just thought about calling?
Yeah, I was like, I mean, I could call the police or I could leave, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And somewhere in there just to leave, so I left.
Yeah. That would have been on the 6th.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I left. And I'm not from up here. I just kind of wanted to go back to Kentucky. So
Yeah.
that was where I went. Got more liquor.
Where'd you go?
Where?
Like in Kentucky, once you got into Kentucky, where?
To Covington.
Covington.
Yeah.
Is that when you went to the Radisson?
Yeah. I got more liquor in Newport. And then I went there and checked in and just stayed there. And started drinking again
Where were you when Tyler called you?
at the Radisson.
You were at the Radisson.
Yeah.
And then you checked out the next morning?
I just left.
Oh, you just left?
Yeah.
Okay. Checked in, left before checkout or whatever, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know what time I left.
It was daylight though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And is that, at what point did you decide that you're going to go to, or was it just, you had a spur of the moment, you decided that you're just going to drive? I mean, did you have a plan of where you were going at that time, or did you think about it at the Radisson and say, well, fuck, I'm going to go to Vegas?
No.
Or, no?
No. So when I left the Radisson, I got in the car, and I didn't, like I said, I didn't know what to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I left, and I just got in the car and started driving. And then I was driving north, and then I seen the signs to go west, and then that's all I did, just follow the signs to keep going west and west. So,
When you said you were going north, would that have been 74? Do you remember? Did you ever hit Indianapolis?
I don't think I made it all the way to Indianapolis.
Where did you get on 70? Do you remember? Because, I mean, that's how 70 is the only way that you can get out that
Right,
way.
west.
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember. No, I went down. That double-decker bridge.
Cincinnati?
That connects Cincinnati and Kentucky.
Yep.
Instead of like going like into downtown
Mm-hmm.
and going the highway that way, I went straight, like around Cincinnati, I guess. And then there's like an exit that's like to go to Indianapolis.
I'm gonna just look on a map and refer, because I just want to make sure I'm following you here.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what the highways are called. I've never been good at that one. But I know, like, when you go across the double-decker bridge, you go veering off, like, towards downtown and going that way, like, towards, like, Eden Park.
Yeah, it looks like you would have went.
Straight
Yeah, you would have went up 75 to 74.
towards Indiana.
Yeah, because 74 will take you all the way over to Indiana. And then, yeah, well, you know how I told you, I mean, I'll share information with you and everything. So we knew that you stopped in Harrison, or West Harrison, Indiana.
I got gas.
Yeah, in West Harrison, Indiana. And then from there, you would have went up 74. Well, you would have had to have hit a loop, which is 465 in Indianapolis, and then hopped on 70, because that's the only way, unless you got off the highway.
No.
So, yeah, you would have you basically hit the outskirts, because they got like an outer belt that goes around Indianapolis. So you would have hit that, the southeast belt, and then went around, and then hit 70. Because that's when 70 will take you all the way across. Stormy, I do feel for you, I do. Because, I mean, you're by yourself. You know, I know that you kind of referenced drinking Pepto-Bismol when we were sitting here shooting the shit that other night. When you said that, I'm like, oh my gosh. You know, I feel for you. I really do. Because you're alone. You don't have anybody to talk to about it. Yeah. I just can't imagine. I mean, you had to have had all kinds of emotions going through you. Did you keep drinking all the way out? No.
No. I know I drank a lot at the Radisson.
Yeah.
It's like a 12-pack plus penalty.
Oh my gosh. 12-pack of what? Beer. Blue Moon?
No.
No.
Something like Blue Moon. I don't know. Blue and white. Yeah. And then I just drove. And then I ended up in Kansas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I stopped in Kansas and stayed at some hotel. Drank some more. That's the story of my life.
Thanks. I'm not judging you.
And then I got up in the morning and left and drove some more. I think I made it to Utah.
Yeah.
I drank some more. Got a hotel and drank some more.
Stopped in Utah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I left there
So,
to Vegas.
you know, from the time that you get 74, you hit West Harrison, Indiana, I believe was what it was called. You know, I mean, you've got to have a lot of thoughts running through your head and stuff. I mean, so what are you thinking about? Like, what's going through your mind? Just keep driving.
Keep going, yeah. Because, well, like, I try to keep myself at the Radisson. That's actually kind of hard. So, it's really hard to kill yourself, actually.
Yeah. Is that when you cut your arm?
Yeah.
Is that what the white towel was for in the car? Did you wipe off blood from the white towel?
Yeah, I think that's a hotel.
Yeah, 'cause that looked like a hotel towel to me.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know that, you know, we went through the car, went through your duffel bag and everything. Is that when you wrote those notes that we found?
I wrote those at the Radisson, yeah.
So that's when you wrote them?
Yeah.
Were you intoxicated when you wrote them? Yeah. Do you remember anything you wrote on those?
I remember writing one about him, like who he is, and to contact the embassy. And then I wrote one about me, right? And to me, I didn't plan on anything.
So Madison,
Yeah.
what did you use to cut your arm?
Knife.
What kind? I mean, where the knife come in?
I took them from my house.
Oh, so those was a knife that you? Okay, so those came from the house, the one that were found in the car.
Yeah.
Okay. And those, so since you took those, I can only imagine that that's what was probably used that night.
I guess, I don't know. They were just in my room.
Those, both of those knives were?
Yeah, in my bedroom.
And then the pillowcase that you wrapped them in, where'd that come from? Your room?
I don't know. I was not.
It was a pink pillowcase.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that your room?
I guess they're just like, just extra, you know,
Sure.
linens in the closet.
Yeah.
Because I remember getting a bag. I put those in there. I don't know what else I put in there. But it was small, I think.
Are you talking about your duffel bag?
No, I didn't know. The Adidas bag.
The one that you were carrying with you at the Radisson?
Yeah.
Which is the one that you were carrying out of Boulder Station when Vegas got you?
No, this is a tiny bag.
Oh, it's a tiny one?
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
like one of those little tiny bags.
Like a full string?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That came from my house. I remember, yeah. Put the knives in there. Because, like I said, it's really hard to do yourself, actually. I don't know if you've ever tried, but it's a lot harder than one would actually imagine.
And just to keep honest with you, no, I haven't, but
Yeah.
I can imagine because
Try to do it at the house, and then when I was gonna do it at my house, I was like, well, I don't want Daniel.
oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want my little brother to come in there and like
yeah, that
and
was-
see that. You know.
no, that was
So that's why I think like when I left, that's why I was leaving. You know what I mean? Because I was like, I really didn't plan on making it that far down the line. You know what I mean? I just figured. That lighter. I figured I could just leave, and then I would just, you know, myself somewhere else. And I went and bought like a lot of aspirin, you know what I mean? Because I was like, well, maybe I could just like, you can actually kill yourself with aspirin if you
Overdose
eat so
on
many,
aspirin, yeah.
you know?
mhm.
So I went and bought a couple bottles, and I thought like I could just check into the hotel, eat all the aspirin in the bottles, you know, keep drinking, and then hopefully not wake up or something.
But you never did take the aspirin?
Not in large quantities, no. No.
So that's pretty much, you know, when you, I call them what, and there's a term for like when somebody attempts, it's usually like hesitation marks or whatever. So that would make sense as to what was on your arm. Do you still have those? Yeah.
Yeah.
You just did it twice.
No, there were more.
Oh, they healed up though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 'Cause I don't recall falling asleep at the Radisson, but that's what I was thinking. Even I mean, I was like, I'm gonna just go there, eat until that antiseptic spray I bought. You can like drink that as well. Because it's got like lidocaine in it, and if you drink a lot
Is
of
that
it,
the
it'll like,
vaccine?
yeah,
Okay.
it'll like like lidocaine, and if you drink enough of it, apparently, according to the internet, like, one, it'll, like, close up your throat, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, my, like, it's just, like, what I was thinking is, like, my didn't have any intentions of leaving or out of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just figured I'd eat the village, drink the, whatever that stuff was, and, I had the knives, I guess, just in case, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't do that. I think maybe because, like, Tyler called me. And I was highly intoxicated, but I guess, I don't know. Hearing his voice somewhere in there, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing the little small things that can happen like that, you know, that cause you to do some extra thinking and stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I can honestly say, I mean, I'm glad you did. Because I'm glad you didn't, because those two boys still love you to death. No matter what happens, they still love you. I know they do. You know, because you have overcame so much through your life. And, it's a groundhog.
Yeah. I thought it was a cat.
No, that's a groundhog. You've overcame so much through your life that they've seen that. And because of your actions and the stuff that you've done through your life, they've now got to witness that, and they know that they can do the same thing.
Yeah.
And they will. They will be successful. They will. They both are very intelligent.
Yeah.
They really are. I mean, obviously, growing up still.
Yeah.
But if they stay on the path that they're on right now, there's no doubt in my mind that they will be just fine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I hope. Those doesn't help. Because, like, it's hard, you know what I mean? Like I said, like, it's very hard.
Mm-hmm.
And for them, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I know, like, obviously, there's repercussions for what I did, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, but, like,
Yeah, but I mean,
it's hard because I worked so hard. You know what I mean? Like, so very hard. And, like, for Daniel, you know what I mean? Like, this is his last year of school. And I just sit there and think, like, I'm, like, supposed to be helping him, like, enroll in college. You know what I mean? Like,
Stormy, just because you're not there doesn't mean that you can't help him along the way.
yeah, I know, but it's a lot harder.
I know.
It'll be a lot harder, like, you know, I'm the only thing they have. And at the same time, I have to sit here and think, like, I'm the one that took me away from them. You know what I mean? Like, it's a hard thing to swallow. The whole situation, like I said, like, none of it feels real. Like, even now, it didn't feel real when I fucking woke up. It didn't feel real when I seen him laying there, you know what I mean? Like, it it doesn't feel real. And the worst part is like, I don't even know if I want it to feel real. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, when things happen quickly like that, you know, as individuals, it's hard for us to grasp that it's happened.
right.
Especially things that happen like this, you know. The only thing that you can do is work through it.
Yeah.
And I believe, given what I know about your entire life story, you can do it. You know, just, it's weird for me to say this, but because of what happened, doesn't mean that everything's all over. Mm-hmm. To you, it feels that way now. But down the road, you're still going to have an opportunity. I firmly believe that.
I was thinking the other day, like, nothing in my life has been normal, you know? And this is just like one more thing, like, one more thing to not be normal. I know, you know, life's not over, but like, I have to carry that, you know what I mean, like, forever.
I believe, based off our conversation and everything, that you know you do feel remorseful for what happened. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, like, it should never happen.
Right. And I want you to understand that I get that from you. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, going back to, you know, previous conversations and stuff like that, when we booked you into the jail and stuff, I just kind of ate at me because I was eating at you, and I knew it was. There's no doubt in my mind I knew it was, because I firmly believe that night we were sitting there just shooting shit, you know. You know, Jerry and I are just sitting here talking to you. We're not asking you any questions or anything. I mean, we told you, you know, other than just brief discussion about your travels, but I mean, we knew where you'd already gone, you know. There was nothing, you know, that we were talking about as far as, you know, why it happened or whatever. But when you reached out to me, I was like, I know, I have a feeling I know what this is about. And I'm glad that you did.
Right. Yeah, it's very hard. And that lady, there's like the mental health people, you know, she's like, well, we can get you into counseling. I'm like, yeah, that would be beneficial, yes, but like, still doesn't take, you know what I mean? I don't know.
It won't take the pain
Right.
fully away.
Okay. Doesn't lessen the pain, like, it doesn't change the fact that, like, you know, midnight, you know, the thoughts come back, you know what I mean? Then you're just sitting there, like on repeat, you know what I mean? Like, cause, like I said, like, I know he's dead, it just it still doesn't seem like, or feel like, you know what I mean? Like, it feels like one big nightmare.
Yep.
Like, you know, if you think that when am I going to wake up? And you never do.
It's going to feel that way for quite some time.
I mean, like, you're just stuck, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel good.
Mm-hmm. You want to take a break for a minute?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry, Stormy. I apologize. When you sent the kiosk message to the supervisor and said that you wanted to talk about your case, you know, going back to what I was telling you a little bit a minute ago, I had a very strong feeling about what we were going to talk about. And, you know, I don't think anything different of you. I don't. I think, I still think the same way I felt the first time we sat down here and we just, I mean, essentially we were just hanging out.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm glad that you shared your side of the story with me. I hope this has helped you in some way, shape, or form talking to me. I really do. Because I knew you had your side of the story to tell. And I'm very, for what it's worth, and the term I'm getting ready to use, I am proud of you. Because it takes a lot for somebody to hold that in, you know, what happened, and not be able to talk about it. You know, I mean, even, you know, in this line of work of what I do, you know, when guys get in shootings or they get in some traumatic experience, I mean, you can't hold that in. It will eat you. It will eat you. We've covered quite a bit. And I wanted to tell you this before we got engrossed in another conversation, and I walked out of here and totally forgot to tell you this. Regardless, you know, Jerry and I are here, no matter what. You can always do the same thing you did again. Anytime. So I hope that means something to you, you know what I mean?
It does.
Because we're not monsters, we're not bad individuals or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So, I will make sure that we can facilitate the things that we talked about, getting the card and the money and everything. Should be able to do it this week, coming up. And then we can make sure that gets to Tyler and he can get some help and stuff like that. So, I have no problems doing that. Not at all. I know we talked about a lot. When you got to Vegas, and we know that, you know, you went to the stratosphere and stuff like that, because you mentioned that, and we had already known that, of course. And when you left Vegas, you said that you were going to go pretty much to Los Angeles at that point.
Yeah, I was just going to keep going left.
And then north or south?
But, yeah, I decided to.
Yeah. No destination or anything? Nothing at all?
Yeah, I only went to Vegas because Roman had gone there.
Yeah.
And we talked about it a lot. He really liked it out there.
I've been there twice. And the first time it wasn't very, I wasn't very lucky. I actually tore my bicep tendon out in Vegas. Yeah. Came home, I had to have surgery, I was off work for a while, and then I got to go back out for this case. Yeah. But it was totally different.
I was gonna say that's
Totally
the
different.
other way.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, you know, like I said the first night, I was like, man, if she makes it to Hawaii, this would be great. I'm gonna get my dream trips for free.
Yeah.
You know, but no, I mean, what I'm talking about, the difference is because of the COVID stuff. You know, the bars were closed. You couldn't do anything. I mean, hell, when we were there and, you know, they were making you wear masks when you were laying out by the pool. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
But when you were leaving that morning and they took you into custody or whatever, did you feel any relief at all that you didn't have to keep running anymore? Or were you like, yes, it's over?
No, I knew it was gonna come to an end, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't, like, that's the thing, like, I wasn't running from, like, I know I was on the run from the police, you know what I mean?
Yes,
like, but
theoretically,
to
yes.
me, like, I wasn't, like, when I left, like I said, like, I didn't plan on really leaving the Radisson, you know what I mean? So, when I, like, that, like, I just got in the car and drove, and, yeah, when I got arrested, yeah, I was like, well, this is just, like, one more progression in the line, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't think I was going to be on the run forever, obviously, you know what I mean? Like, it was a relief in one way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't have to keep on doing this, because staying in a car and driving until you can't drive anymore, obviously, like, you can only do that for so much, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't, so to me, I wasn't, like, running from the police, I was, like, running from myself.
No,
You know what I mean?
no, that completely makes sense. It completely makes sense.
Like I said, like, these people in jail, like, they think, like, you know, like, I'm, like, just a, like, criminal mastermind, like, everything was planned out, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, it was, like, all accidental, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't plan to do that. I didn't plan to, like, have to run, you know what I mean? Like, it was just, I didn't know what to do, so I left, and I was just running from myself, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So I figured, just like the other night, you know what I mean? I just drove, and then when I got to Vegas, I was like, well, you know, like, maybe I can do it, like, up here, you know what I mean? Like, that, like, was my thing, like, that's, I guess, what I was trying to work my way into doing, you know what I mean? Like, because I knew, like, life isn't over, you know what I mean? But
It's not.
it feels that way, like, our life is over, you know what I mean? Like, it's,
You remember?
yeah, like, we worked so hard. I was working so hard to give him what he didn't have, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we had been, like, doing this integration thing for, like, a year, you know what I mean? Like, we were so close. He had just got, so, like, when you do immigration, like, you can get a work permit, and then you can get, like, the green card aspect of it, right? So we had just got a letter, like, a week before that said, like, they had reviewed his case, and they were going to grant him his work authorization. They didn't send the card, unfortunately, but we got the letter that said, like, you know, like, this is one more step. So then after that, we were just going to have to do, like, they make you do an interview to make sure, like, everything's legit. You
Sure.
know what I mean?
Yep.
so that was the next step. Like he was gonna get his card so he could start working again, and then we were gonna do the interview, and then he would be able to like renew his driver's license, you know what I mean? And then like the thing that like really hurts the most is when we first got together, like you could tell like he was so upset, like just the way his life was going, had been going, and I haven't had my mom forever, practically, because even when I was little, I wasn't with her, you know what I mean? So I knew what it was like to not have parents, and for him, he had parents that, from all accounts, according to him, were quite normal. So, like, one of the things I think that, like, really, like made us click together was the fact that, like, all he wanted to do was go home and see his mom, you know what I mean? And see his dad and just be normal again, you know what I mean? Because he had been here for, like, 13 years. And, like, they would Skype and stuff, you know what I mean? But, like, he could never leave the country because he was still illegal, you know what I mean? So if he ever left, he couldn't come back. So the thing that, like, made us really click was the fact that, like, we liked a lot of the same things, but, like, the fact that I wanted to help him be able to go back home, you know what I mean? And he didn't want to, like, stay there, like, at all. But he did want to be able to go back home and see his parents,
So you basically wanted to be able to go there, see them, and then come back to you?
Right.
Yeah.
And we had discussed that, you know what I mean? Like, that's what was going to happen. Like, he would go there initially the first time, and then, you know, future state, right? Like, we would go there together.
So it sounds like you guys were making some future plans.
Yeah, the worst part is, like, he gets to go home, but obviously not in the way that I would have intended, you know what I mean? Like, that really, really hurts, because, you know, I've never talked to those people. I've never seen them except for in pictures, so it hurts to know, like, he finally gets to come home, but for what? Like, nothing. You know what I mean? Like, just more pain, you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, we had all kinds of plans. We're gonna buy a house, you know what I mean? Like, have kids one day.
Yeah. I mean, from what I've heard, I mean, it sounds like you guys had a pretty decent bond. You guys used to paint pictures together and liked music, right? Cooking? You guys used to cook?
He told me when I first met him, I told him I was going to have, like, some of these things, like, made into pictures or plaques or something and hang them around the house. Because he told me he couldn't cook rice in a rice cooker. Yeah, when I first met him, that's what he told me. And I was like, you're silly. And, yeah, we got slowly, like, I like to cook, and so I would cook for him, like Russian food, you know what I mean? And, he was like, he's Russian, but he was always in a rush. Like, always in a rush. And I'm like, what are you rushing for, Russian? Like, you know, like, the saying, stop and smell the roses. Like, literally, stop and smell the roses. Or I'm like, we don't always have to be in a rush. And so, like, with cooking for him, it was like, he's a guy, so, you know, he didn't care. Fried eggs every day, every meal, like, you know, he was completely fine. He didn't care, like, and, I would cook him all this stuff, and he's like, oh, like, you don't have to do that, like, it takes so long, you know what I mean? Like, I would spend hours and hours making these dishes for him, and I guess it slowly started to grow on him, because right before it, we had gone out and we bought this blender so we can make, like, all these soups, you know what I mean, that he found on the internet. We did get around to making a couple of those before, but yeah, like, we were, it's funny, he told me something like there's a saying in Russia, like husbands and wives are opposites, you know what I mean, like yin and yang, and it really was like that, you know what I mean, like the days I was sad, he was happy and he'd cheer me up, and vice versa, you know what I mean, and yeah. We were like each other's like best friends for real, like, you know what I mean?
He was describing me as a very genuine guy. Like he cared. Everybody said he cared a lot about you too. As a matter of fact, one of the terms that was used was proud. That was one of the terms that was said about how he felt like he was proud, and it made total sense because of what you were doing. You know, like when you had your job at Fidelity and stuff like that, and it all clicked together. You know what I mean? I mean, it all clicked together.
It was hard. Like, I felt so bad when the second DUI happened, because he was with me for both of them. Like, he wasn't there, you know what I mean? But
he was with you.
He was with me. Like, the first DUI, like, it sucked and what it was, and so, like, for, like, the month that I couldn't drive, like, he drove me back and forth to work. Like, it's, like, an hour one way, so he was driving, like, 4 hours just to, like, take me to work, take the kids to school, come home, and then he'd come pick us up in the afternoon. And then when the second DUI happened, you know what I mean, like, he was right there. He came and got the kids, and, you know, like, he waited at the thing, like, 2 days in a row, just waiting, you know, for me to get released on monitor and stuff. And, yeah. It's hard. He was there, like, regardless. And the thing he always said was, he didn't blame me, you know, like, as he would describe it, that wasn't his life. Like, you know, when the shit happened, because I was, you know, drunk as a skunk, like, as somebody always said, like, I know that's not you, like, that's that other form of you, you know what I mean? He's like, but that's not you. He's like, just a byproduct of what happens when you drink too much, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody's different when they get, you know, to a certain point of intoxication. I mean, sure, I'm not going to disagree with that. I'm not going to disagree. I mean, I've been in law enforcement for, you know, going on 13 years. I mean, and I've came across different, everybody. I mean, intoxicated, high. Sure, I can't disagree with that. I really can't. I really can't.
Yeah. Even, like, it was funny because, like, even when I got the job at the chicken place, I worked there, like, a whole, like, 6 weeks before they gave me the assistant manager job. You know what I mean? There's people that have worked there for years, and they would never got the promotion. And then I just come in here and just, like, get the job, like, you know, I didn't even try. I didn't even know they needed one, you know what I mean? I just got the job because I needed a job.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, like, the thing, like, so when I got fired from Fidelity, I made plenty enough money for immigration purposes, because you have to make so much, like, based on household rate, because
Sure.
you have to be, like, their financial sponsor, so they need to make sure, like, you can pay for your stuff and them. So when that happened, he was extraordinarily worried that like that would hinder the whole process. So I went and I got 2 jobs. I got the chicken job and I got this job at Wendy's. And I was working like 65, 70 hours a week because you have to make so much money. So I got both jobs to make enough money so that if the interview came up, because you never know when it's going to come, they just email everything to you, you know what I mean? That we would be fine, you know what I mean? Because like it was my fault, like the DUI part, you know what I mean? Like that was my fault and I didn't want that to hinder what we've been working towards, you know what I mean? And then the assistant manager job came up, so then I quit Wendy's and just did chicken because then I made enough money for immigration purposes to only have 1 job.
Yes.
And he was telling his friend, he was like, about it, and you know, they both were like, I don't see how you did that, like in such a short period of time, like there's no way, like either one of us could have done it, you know what I mean, like, they could have, but,
Sure,
you know.
sure.
They're very humble, you know, like,
Right.
there's this thing, like, that side of, like, it's not all Europe, right, but, like, Asia, and it's, like, Asians, just in specifically, like, they're very humble, they don't brag about nothing, you're, like, all, like, it's just a societal thing to be content, you know what I mean, with what you have and not brag about stuff, you know what I mean, but, yeah, he was very happy that I was able to keep on, you know, like, building up, basically, you know, making sure everything was okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the gist that I got from how you were, you know, very hard worker. You wanted to really take care of those around you that you let close into your circle, because, I mean, we knew from the get-go, and even in conversation, that, you know, you only let certain people in your life, and then you'll trust them, but I think you still second guess some things when it comes to letting people in. Would you disagree with that? I mean, as far as like friends go, not Roman.
I don't have friends.
Well, that's what I mean. So the trust factor, you know.
Yeah, I have a severe trust issue, and I think it just is like, because like it just leads back to like I have like an abandonment issue. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
yes.
Like to me, I always like people can be nice, and it's just like these people in jail, like they're only nice because they want to see what you have, or they want to see what they can get out of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then as soon as you prove like you're not beneficial to them, then they just leave. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So yeah, for me, I don't. No, I find trust is very hard. You know what I mean? Like you can have a little bit, but not a lot. And like I said, like I don't like to depend on people, you know what I mean?
Yep.
I find that very hard as well, because it all comes back to like I have a huge abandonment problem.
And that's understandable. Yeah, it's understandable.
It's probably like a leading factor into why I was able to do what I did, you know what I mean? Like, because a lot of people are like, I don't understand how all that stuff happened, and like, you know, you've accomplished so much, but it's like, there's no alternative, you know what I mean? Like, to me, there was no alternative.
Were you ever fearful that Roman was going to leave you at any time?
No.
No.
I don't
That's
think
good.
so. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, like, the way we would talk about things, you know what I mean? And, like, what we were doing for each other, you know what I mean? Like,
As far as, like, the future and stuff like that?
right. You know what I mean? Like, when I first moved up here, I moved up here for him, you know what I mean? And then he moved in with me, like, 4 months after I moved up here, you know what I mean? And, like, everything was, like, 50-50, you know what I mean? Half of the rent, half of the electric, half, you know what I mean? He was very adamant about that. because all he ever said was like, you know, like, in like future state, I just want you to work less, right? Like, I want you to be able to be home with the kids, because, like, it's just cultural differences, you know what I mean? But, like, to him, like, the thing was, like, he's the man, he's supposed to provide, you know what I mean? And so the whole point of everything was, like, future state, we were going to be in a position where he could work to provide, and if I needed to work, I could work, you know what I mean? Like, if I wanted to work, I could work, but the goal was for me not to work, you know what I mean?
Sure.
So, like, based off of that, and, like, you know, like, future state, this man planned everything. I mean, very, very, like, to the T, you know what I mean? Like, he wanted, like I said, we wanted to get the house, you know what I mean? Like, he wanted to get a house in 2 years, and then, you know, just, like, start building our life from there. Like, you know, kids were, like, future state, but, we talked about those, but, like, quite a lot, because he wanted kids, he just didn't want kids now, you know what I mean? Like, he wanted it to be, like, you think, like, I had my kids so early that, like, you know, they weren't, like, planned, you know what I mean? I didn't plan to have kids, it just happened.
Right.
So, like, I did, but,
Right.
like, for him, he wanted, like, you know, to have the house and the cars all situated, and then, like, be together for a while, and then, like, have kids. And what did he tell me? He wanted kids one night. He was so drunk, but we were talking about it, and he said, heritage, you know? Like, that's what he said. And then I called him the next day, because, like, his memory was not all. The man had no memory at all, but...
Really?
Yeah, oh, yeah. But he was like, I said that. I was like, yeah, that's exactly how you put it for heritage. Yeah. But, yeah. We were, slowly trying to just be normal, because, like, he, like I said, like, for, like, 13 years was so not normal. And, like, he had told me about these past relationships he had, and they were, like, the least, like, I had 11 years of just pure hell, but I at least, like, subjected myself to it, like, trying to make sure, like, my, you know, like, I came from a broken home, and I didn't want my children to come from exactly, you know what I mean, not the same situation, but just, to me, it felt the same, you know what I mean, regardless, like, I didn't want them to have to be like that, but I mean, you know, you see how that worked out. But for 11 years, I subjected myself to the torture because I felt like I was sacrificing myself for the greater good of the family, you know what I mean? And, yeah, he had, like, I don't know, his first relationship with God, and then this lady he was with before me was, just stressful, according to him, you know what I mean? Like, so, he was, I think we were pretty happy for the most part, you know what I mean?
It sounded like it. It sounded like it.
Normal, build things, like, fulfill things for each other, I guess, that, like, we hadn't had before, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
And before we conclude any of this, I just want to rehash some things again. We'll go back to the 4th, and I know, you know, this stuff is hard to talk about, but you don't recall any type of argument or anything that prompted the series of events to take place. I mean,
right.
Okay. You mentioned at one time that he was kind of holding your arms down of some sort. Where did that take place at? In the bedroom?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember he threw me off the bed.
Do you remember why?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's like I said, if you just take that book and like rip out the pages and try to flip through it, like we were on the bed listening to music, and then the next thing I know, I'm in the floor, and he's on top of me. And I don't know why. I don't know what led us to that.
And then complete blackout mode.
Blackout.
And then you register basically like a reality check. I'm just using that as a term because that's kind of what I reference to that. You have this reality check moving forward, and the next thing you know, he's on the ground.
Right. and there's just laying there in puddles.
At any point in time, like when you were cleaning up and that stuff, when did you realize those knives were relevant to what happened? Do you recall that?
Not really. I think they were sitting on, like, beside him. A little, like, I don't know if you know what my apartment looks like, but, like, when you walk in, so there's, like, that little, like, area, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's, like, the closet. And it's like if you were going to walk into the living room, like, they were laying right there.
Okay.
And there was blood on them. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Okay. Because I know you mentioned that they were in your bedroom when you woke up or whatever.
Yeah.
Which would make sense because of the cleanup and stuff like that. So that makes sense. Okay. Okay. That makes sense now. I'm just making sure I don't have anything else that I need to ask you or anything that I wanted to know about. Is there anything that you know we haven't talked about that you feel that I should know at all? No. Well, I don't think I have anything else to really talk. You know, as far as that goes, you know, I could sit here and talk to you for hours. I really could, but it was my day off, so just racking my brains, just trying to see if there's anything else. I mean, and again, you don't recall any of the actions that led up to him being stabbed, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all black.
Sure. Obviously, we know when you went around to the different stores and whatnot, that stuff remained in the car from the time that you left until the time you went to Vegas. Yeah. Told you I'd get everything to Tyler. I'm just making sure I don't have anything that I missed to tell you about. Yeah, I think that's about it. As you know how to get a hold of me. And my office is right in this office too, so it doesn't take much for me to walk over here or anything like that. So if something, you go to sleep tonight or whatever, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I forgot to tell them about that or whatever, don't hesitate to do exactly what you did before.
Right.
And tell them that you want to talk to me, and then I can follow up with you right away. Like I said, I was going to come last night, but I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. And that's why I told him, I told Sergeant Davis, I was like, go back there and tell her I will be there tomorrow first thing, as soon as I can get there. So, Stormy, I'm glad you got your side of the story out there. I really am.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Well, I mean, there's always two sides to a story. And it's really, in my position, with investigations and stuff like that, I mean, it drives me nuts when I can't put a puzzle together. You know what I mean? But also just because again, it goes back to me actually caring about people and stuff. You know what I mean? And you've made references that you can't take back what's happened. I don't disagree. But I don't think it's over for you. I don't think everything's just over. You said something the first night when we were in here, and you said, I knew I was going to have to eventually come back and face the music and stuff. And from this point on, it's just one thing that you're going to have to do is just remember it's a step. It's day to day.
Right.
Your brothers aren't going anywhere. They're going to be there for you, and they will always be there for you. They're not going to leave you. I can guarantee you that. You know what I mean? One thing that just popped in my head. When you got the blanket and stuff and pulled him through the living room area, kitchen area, into the bedroom with the strap or anything. Was that just something you thought about right away, or is that something that you have seen on TV or somewhere else before, or anything like that? No, you just thought of it, and that was just the easiest.
Autopilot. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It's like I wasn't in control.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like,
Sure.
Like all of that. Like,
Yeah.
that wasn't like me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to describe that, but.
Well, I think we covered, when you get highly intoxicated, I think it's you've heard the term, like somebody gets on whiskey or something, they become just an angry individual, but when they're sober, they're a totally different person. I think that's what kind of happens. When you get to that level, I think it's, for the purposes of our conversation, blackout city. And then when you come to, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. It is.
And I think that goes along with you when you drink heavily. And I may be completely wrong when I say this, and please tell me if I am or if I have some type of relevance to what I'm saying. I think sometimes, like when you're drinking, you're doing it to have fun, but when you keep drinking and stuff, it's almost like do you ever think about the things that have happened before and you're trying to suppress them?
That's not like why I drink.
And I don't think that that's the whole reason,
Right.
but sometimes there can be, I've met individuals before that let's say, something traumatic happens, and then they cope with it, and then they drink, and then they start drinking just to drink, but then they drink and they're like, oh, I'm doing this because I'm wanting to forget about what happened. So I just wanted to see if that was anything relevant to you.
No.
No.
Like, because I didn't start drinking until like I was like 25.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This drinking thing is a whole new ballpark.
Yeah.
Because when I was with my ex, like his stepdad was an alcoholic, so he was like anti-liquor.
Oh, Jamar was?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
After you left him, was when you...
Yeah, I didn't start drinking until I was like 25, and then I really didn't start like drinking until I was like probably like 26 and a half. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is that when you started experiencing the blackout points?
So, not at first.
Okay.
Because I was like, I didn't drink, so I wasn't into like liquor at first. I would just drink beer. And then, like, what prompted me drinking liquor was Tyler got on the probation, and you can't have alcohol in your house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's like my house.
Mm-hmm.
So, beer, you drink it cold. It doesn't taste very well if it's hot.
Mm-hmm.
So, when he got on that, I didn't want to have beer in the refrigerator because they can come in any time.
Yep.
So then I switched to liquor.
Started hiding bottles and stuff.
So I could keep the liquor in my room,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So then, like, if they came, you know what I mean? Like, at least that way, I try to put it somewhere, like, they wouldn't like walk in and see, like, 50, sips of whatever.
Right.
So, I started drinking liquor and, like, vodka. Vodka was my choice of drink.
Vodka was?
Yeah. So then it just became anything, you know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
after a while, like, it didn't really matter what we were drinking, but, it probably took, like, 6 months, you know what I mean? Because it's not, like, I worked a lot, you know what I mean? And the kids and stuff, so, like, probably, like, 6 months into it is when it started happening. Because I would go, like, to downtown, you know what I mean?
Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, OTR.
Yep.
And, I guess it has to be the amount of liquor I can drink is honestly astounding.
Really?
It really is. Like, I could put down, like, almost a fifth by myself.
Oh,
You know what I mean? And, like, that's when the lights start going off. you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
just after drinking so much. So I would go downtown and the lights would go off somewhere in there, you know what I mean? Because I remember, like, I would be down there as lost for hours, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before, like, I would, like, be able to, like, find my car, and then God only knows how in the world I actually made it back home, you know what I mean?
Sure.
So that's, yeah, probably, like, about when I was, like, 27, the blackouts started happening.
Yeah.
And that's kind of when I, like I felt like I had a problem, you know what I mean?
Sure,
When you wake up the next morning and you're thinking, like,
How did I get here?
how did I get home? Like, what did I do last night? And, so, like, I tried to, like, drink less. Like, the weekdays I was fine, you know what I mean? Like, I drink, but, like, not the excess, because, like, I knew I had to go to work the next day, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And I was trying to, like, be, like, this, like, functioning alcoholic, I guess.
Okay.
But, yeah. Yeah, the blackouts were pretty prevalent depending on when I was drinking. And, like, if I was drinking, like, if I didn't have to go to work the next day, then it was just, like, a free-for-all, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Once I started, it was very hard to stop.
Yeah. No, I get exactly what you're saying. I do. I completely understand. Okay. Well, I'll just smoke one more cigarette outside and we walk out and we'll go to the door and knock the door and they'll come and get you, okay? Alright. If you want to throw those in the trash and you still making a way over there. You can walk out without the walk for a minute. I'll let you smoke one more cigarette.
At trial, Stormy Delahanty was found guilty of murder, felonious assault, and tampering with evidence. She was sentenced to 18 years to life in prison.